Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new Trains Are Awesome video. I'm Tom, I am in Washington, D.C. This is where I live now. I only just moved here, it's still kicking in. It's really exciting. I am on my way to Crystal City in Virginia because my brother, Bear, he sent me something on the Trains Are Awesome Instagram account, which you should follow, by the way, because I post pictures and stories of my travels and the trains I see on there. The post that he sent me was about the VRE Meet the Management Days. What's VRE?
VRE stands for the Virginia Railway Express. This is a commuter rail service that connects Washington, D.C. with the communities in Northern Virginia. The first train ran in June of 1992. Virginia Railway Express is owned by two regional transportation commissions which were created by the state of Virginia. There are two lines. Both run from D.C. to Alexandria, Virginia. The Fredericksburg line then continues south towards Spotsylvania, while the Manassas line heads southwest towards Broad Run. Both lines only run on weekdays and see 8 round trips a day each, into Washington, D.C. in the morning and leave D.C. in the afternoon. Only on the Manassas line are there some reverse peak trips, where one train leaves D.C. in the early morning and 2 trains head back into the district in the afternoon. During the summer of 2023, all trips on VRE are free on Fridays. Here's an interesting fact. VRE stops at the only commuter rail station within the District of Columbia, besides Union Station. That station is L'Enfant. In the summer of 2023, the VRE management is hosting events at stations to meet riders, promote future projects, and hand out lots of VRE merch. I love collecting train swag, so I decided to head to Crystal City. I took the metro since it was easier for me to reach Crystal City that way from where I was.
Move to the center of the car. The next stop is Crystal City. Step back. Doors open.
Alright, so this is Crystal City Metro Station. Of course, we're here for VRE, so just gonna find where the commuter rail station is.
Once you head up and leave the metro mezzanine, there's a long concrete corridor that does have signs pointing to VRE. Those signs will eventually bring you into a shopping mall, which you have to walk through to go outside to the VRE station.
So it looks like to get to the VRE station, you have to go through this mall. Luckily, there are signs posted occasionally. And I saw an Arlington County commuter store with like transit information. That was pretty cool. Well, now we're outside and the signs disappeared, but according to the map, I'm close. There they are.
There were tables out in front of the stations where people could pick up swag as well as grab some refreshing snacks and beverages. Members of the management stood behind the tables, eager to chat with passengers.
Well, if I ever miss Chicago, I'll just come here and ride the gallery cars.
So before I talk about meeting the management and the future of VRE, let's take a quick look at the merch we got. So everything came in this cool tote bag. This VRE notebook was probably my favorite thing I got. I love the design of the cover, and you can never really go wrong with another notebook. I got these name tag holders, some pens, this lanyard with a carabiner, here's some printed timetables, and of course this VIP pin. Very cool. Now that's what I call a haul.
So I'm really excited about all that merch, and of course the snacks and beverages were great on a warm day like this. I spent about half an hour there talking to the management. Everybody was so friendly, was so open to talking about their railway. One guy I spent a decent time talking to, turns out we went to rival schools in Tokyo as kids. Like, you can't make that stuff up. but it was very helpful because I had a few questions about the future of VRE, and everybody was able to answer them.
Virginia currently has one of the most aggressive railway expansion policies of any state in the US. They are building a new bridge over the Potomac next to the existing Long Bridge to expand capacity. They've bought hundreds of miles of right-of-way from CSX and are building new tracks to separate freight from passenger trains. Virginia is doing awesome work, and of course we'll get a dedicated video on this channel. But today I wanted to know more specifically about the improvements that VRE was looking at. I had 3 questions that I asked the management at this event. Since we're at Crystal City, I wanted to hear about the improvements to this station. I was also curious about potential service expansion and whether the Amtrak Step-Up program would continue. So there were actually posters on site detailing plans for the new Crystal City station. While the current station has one low-level side platform, the future station will have a low-level island platform serving both directions. It will be connected to pedestrian bridges and tunnels so people do not have to cross any tracks. Additionally, there are plans for a potential pedestrian crossing connecting Crystal City Station with Ronald Reagan National Airport. Amtrak is planning to serve Crystal City in the future using a brand new high-level platform that will be constructed on the south end of the station. Since VRE's part of the station will be completed earlier, the railroad is trying to convince Amtrak to stop at their low-level platforms for the time being and begin serving Crystal City earlier. Now let's move on to service expansions. Within the next decade, VRE hopes to expand from their current 16 round trips to a total of 26 round trips a day. This would mean higher frequencies in the peak direction as well as some more off-peak service. These service expansions rely on the railroad getting more trains and more space to store them. Will these new trains be more gallery cars or something else? And when will they come? I was not able to find out the answer to those questions. In the more long term, service will become more regular throughout the day, and there may even be through service with Mark, but we've got a ways to go until that. Finally, the Step Up program. In the days before the pandemic, some Amtrak Northeast Regional trains traveling to Virginia would make extra stops in places like L'Enfant. VRE pass holders were allowed to buy a step-up ticket and ride an Amtrak train to their destination. This was discontinued in the pandemic, and I wanted to know if they were bringing it back. VRE has been busy negotiating with Amtrak to bring it back, but since Amtrak has changed their reservation system, it's been difficult. Nevertheless, management at the event seemed optimistic, and they told me to come back at the end of the summer for an update.
Now, I'm sure I'll have questions in the future as well, but the nice thing is, in true DC fashion, I collected business cards. So if I have any other questions, I will reach out to VRE, and something tells me that the railway will be featured more on this channel in the future. Now I just have to actually ride a VRE train.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Trains Are Awesome if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.